People deluded. Now, it's no secret, I go to a lot of Kick It Out events. They do the Raise Your Game, they do a lot of media days. I'd say them and BComs host some good events. Shout out to Troy Townsend and everyone connected with Kick It Out. They've got an event coming up, I believe, on the 15th of April, Raise Your Game. So if anyone like myself's got any ambitions to get in football, want to speak with individuals that have anything to do with football, need some positive encouragement, or just need some steps, or just want to see what it's about, hit up their website. But courtesy of them, or my girl Crystal, shout out to her, man. She's got a podcast and she's doing heavy bits in regards to Kick It Out, and she does a lot of work on The Voice. Check out her stuff, man. She does bits. But she managed to... because of her and the rest of Kick It Out, I was invited to Unique Sport Management, USM. Now, for those who don't know, they're a sports management agency, as a group of football agents. And we was invited to a day in which Mikel Antonio was there. I'm sure you see my Instagram. Alan Smith was there. Parents of academy footballers and many different divisions within the agency. And I must admit, I'll get onto it, but it was a lovely day, man. Shout out to everybody at USM, whether it was the player services, the actual agents, and several other sub-teams, the commercial and stuff like that. Each and every one of them, testament to the organisation, from managerial director down to whatever level. They all had not only knowledgeable things to say about their craft and what their job is and their company, but just nice words of advice, just the way they spoke about certain things, just the way they conduct what they do as agents. We know agents have I'd say about probably two stereotypes. Everybody thinks every agent is loaded with cash, and everyone thinks they're just money grabbers and things like that. Don't get me wrong, it's a lucrative job, but that's furthest thing from the case, man. Like, these are some very good people. They really care about before that, they really care about there's so many things I want to say about them. I learned so much. They not only care about the players and the players' welfare and things like that. They care about the players' welfare and things like that beyond just money, which some agents can't say that. They think about what's best for the player. Now, obviously, if a player wanted to move to a club and they didn't believe he was going to move there, and that's what the player wants, then they can't really do anything. But there was many examples how they stopped players were doing certain things, wanted to do certain things that wouldn't have been best for them, trying to help them find the correct clubs. So many different things, man. And just from hearing, for me, the main takeaway was actually listening to the player services, because I know players are humans, and I know moving to a football club is abroad, especially at a young age or an old age, can be difficult regardless. I didn't realise the amount of care that these people have to put in. They're essentially another, like, the best way I said it when we were speaking, I think it's almost like a surrogate auntie, uncle, mother sort of thing. Because if you imagine there's a 17-year-old coming over from Holland, obviously his family are not from here. He's a 17-year-old man, way before he's a professional footballer. So he has certain habits he wants, certain home comforts. And these guys were going out there and finding it. I mean, there was even an example, a player left a wash bag and they managed to get a cab, and I think he was going away with his country at some level. They managed to get a cab to put his wash bag in there and bring it to him. These sort of things there. Even things like arranging baby scans and baby showers in the best places to eat, and just caring for the players, man. Like, that's the one underlining factor I got from everybody, of all the sub-teams and everybody, is caring for the players. Like, they really are some good guys. They're not paying me or anything, before people think I'm getting some sort of commission. This is genuinely what I believe from what I saw, man. Away from that, I knew how detailed transfers could be, but especially after speaking to Mikel Antonio, I really understood it, and I really understood different needs of players. For instance, I won't go into specifics, but Mikel Antonio kind of broke down the different needs of a footballer. I mean, if you're 28 years of age, you want to, not only is it important to get a decent financial package, but you probably want to know how you feature into that manager's plans, the sort of level you're going to be at, versus if you're younger, there might be different things you go for. Every player is different, sort of thing. I really learned how some players are more motivated by cash, some players are more motivated by trophies, some players are happy to sit on the bench and things like that. And that's the one thing I got from all the agents, like, just the insight. And Mikel Antonio, he was very nice, very down to earth. If you didn't know it was Mikel Antonio, you wouldn't think he's a professional footballer. That's how humble he is. Obviously, we had a little bit of banter. I asked him why was he hotting up Arsenal fans on Twitter, and obviously we got a bit of bants, and he was nice enough to give me a signed West Ham shirt with everybody. But he was, like, the things he spoke about, one question I wanted to ask, because I've always wondered, is, obviously, these players are like us, innit? When they're seeing their names or players or friends linked with clubs, do they talk about it in the change rooms? And he said it's actually a frustrating time for some players, and I really took a lot away from it, man. Like, Mikel Antonio, if you're watching this, I praise you, man, because you really, gave me a lot, man. And to speak to Alan Smith as well, man, to be sat across the table from an Arsenal legend. Like, I wasn't watching him when he was doing his madness, of course. I'm 23 years of age, but I can appreciate the legend he is, man. And it was a bit weird listening to his voice, because I mean, it's like when I met Clive Tilsley. It's like these man there are the commentators. It's like seeing them in the flesh. It takes a bit of getting used to, but similar to Mikel Antonio and everyone, down to earth. Alan Smith answering everybody's question, even if a question might not have necessarily been the smartest, taking time, just a very down-to-earth person. And for me personally, to be sat across the table from him and pick his brain, and because we were doing a bit of a team exercise, but to be able to pick his brain and get some insight in regards to not only professional footballer, but Arsenal's crazy. For instance, the one thing I took away is that the media is very dangerous. For instance, like when he completed his move to Arsenal and went back to Leicester, some of the, I wouldn't say abuse because I wasn't there at the time, but people questioning, is he motivated because he's heading to Arsenal and things, and seeing how these things can really affect a player. Like, that's one thing. Seeing, these players are human, people always say that, but just seeing how human they are and feeling it, especially when I'm speaking to the media team, yeah, man, I can't put into words, man. It really, like, these are good people, man. Don't get me wrong, there's bad agents out there like there are with every sort of job role possible in life, but these lot go against the stereotype. I didn't have the stereotype already because I've known this, but really, man, it was a great day, people, man, to get player perspectives, both from an existing player in Antonio and a previous in Alan Smith, to pick these expert brains. I mean, these lot manage not manage, but they're the agents of Antonio, Harry Kane, several other top players, and at all levels. They don't just care about the top level. They show the same amount of care and love to people that are semi-pro and non-league and stuff like that. Like, I really can't praise the whole team enough, man. And like I said, man, I would love to pick their brains. I would make tea and coffee if they gave me the chance, man. I'd love to learn in that environment, man. It is a real good establishment and surrounded by some real good people, man. So all the team at USM USM firstly, pat on the back, man. It was a terrific day, and especially it's free. Normally when things are free, you get what you pay for, and they didn't have to show the hospitality. Made sure everybody ate, got some nice meals, food and drink, of course. Obviously, the nice touch with Antonio signing the shirts. On the topic of Antonio, he's a professional footballer, but he's taking time out of his day and what I assume is a busy schedule to sign these shirts and pick people's brains. I mean, let us pick his brains, because he's not getting an appearance fee for it. And yeah, these are good people, man. Many of their players have been on their books. I believe they said Mikel Antonio's been there for 9 years, on the books for 9 years. So that they got to be doing something right, because agents must be tapping up other agencies' players day in, day out. Like, even Antonio, he said, that's one thing I got. It's like, I didn't think footballers' numbers would be so accessible, but he said sometimes even agents are calling him saying they can do this and that, and he's thinking, how did you get my number, sort of thing. Like, it's crazy how I deeped it out. If you really want to get to someone, you can contact someone, no matter how far or whatever they are, man. But like I said, people, man, like, it was a great day, and it's something that will stay with me for life, man. And thanks to Kick It Out and Crystal in particular for bussing me. Thanks to Troy Townsend for obviously hosting it, and thanks to USM for obviously opening their doors for people like myself, because I took a lot from it. For them, they probably went along their normal life, and it might not be much to them, innit? Because obviously they're agents, they got deals to do and high-profile stuff. But to me, like, man, that was one of the best things I've been to, people. And it gave me a lot, man. It really gave me a lot. It gave me the chance to network and pick brains with some expert people. Not only the ones I've mentioned, people, but like I said, thank you, USM, for inviting everybody as well. So on that note, I don't think I have much to add. I'm going to get out of everybody's head now. Well, hair is the better way to put it, but yeah, people, thank you for watching Deluded Gooner. Like I said, check out Kick It Out, check out USM, and do your own research if you want. Thank you.